Hello and welcome to the final installment of the Combat Mission Final Blitzkrieg Let's Play. I am at the last, your host, DT Kozel. I'm just going to be going over the combat victories for everybody. I'll mispronounce your name probably, and at the very end I might give some thoughts and criticisms of how the thing went. Not on any of you guys, you all did great, just on myself. So let's jump in. We'll start out here with the victors, the Axis Force. We have the Battalion HQ under Abelian. You had 0. And the final resting place of your heavy machine gun was right here. Professor Curley, Company HQ. 0 as well. Did you end up right here? No losses. And the heavy machine gun all the way over here, but with no combat victories. First platoon, we had a Bonga Nation, and there were no victories. Nothing to be ashamed about. First squad, first platoon, that'd be Chili Rabbit. Second squad, Cool Kev 666. And third squad, first platoon, Explosive Tampons. Second platoon, Glenenstein. No combat victories. First platoon, Uper. 1 enemy casualty. Second squad, Flippy Cunt. 1 enemy casualty. And third squad, Captain Dirtnap. No enemy casualties. Third platoon, Gewehr 43, no enemy casualties. First squad, CHF, no enemy casualties. Second squad, Ikasuhito, no enemy casualties. And third squad, Jojo, no enemy casualties. Our first Panther, Klaus 88, had 24 enemy casualties, 1 M4A376W Sherman Easy 8 medium tank, 1 M43E275 Sherman Jumbo assault tank, and 1 M20 armored utility car as enemy casualties. Our second Panther under Popite, something like that. 18 enemy casualties, 1 M5A1 late light tank, 1 M4A375W Sherman E45 flamethrower tank as enemy casualties. Our Hetzer tank, Saros, had 16 enemy casualties and 1 M5A1 late light tank. Our self-propelled tank under iNinja 132, 4 enemy casualties. And then our Verpelvin under Xenolalia had 17 enemy casualties. And I think this is our first recce under Frozen Liquidity. If I got you guys confused, I apologize. No enemy casualties. And for Pedro 930, 6 enemy casualties. Again, thank you guys for playing, and now on to the allies. We start off with Davin Valkyrie. 0 enemy casualties on himself and the M20. Our Company HQ Jaguars, nothing on himself, 1 on the machine gun. First platoon under Apricon, none on himself, 8 on the light mortar team. First squad under David Corbett had 2 enemy casualties. Second squad under Decrepus, 1 enemy casualty. And third squad under Decoy Badger, 2 enemy casualties. Here we have second platoon under Mohawk Satan, Ace Buckeye 13. None on himself. 4 for his light mortar team. First squad under DSM, 1 enemy casualty. 5 enemy casualties. Each section is counted separately, unfortunately, so I got to do a lot of clicking here. Second squad, 1 enemy casualty. And third squad, 0 enemy casualties. Third platoon under Mohawk Satan, 0 enemy casualties. First squad under the Sandman, 3 enemy casualties. Second squad under Goatface, 0. And third squad under Sean Bean's Shaco, 0 enemy casualties. Our assault tank under Cathode Raymond, 3 enemy casualties. Our Jumbo under Chitoru 12, 2 enemy casualties. Sherman Easy 8 under El Brack, 14 enemy casualties and 1 Panzer II-L Lynx light tank. Sherman Easy 8 under Gamer, 7 enemy casualties and 1 Panzer II-L Lynx light tank. I believe these are correct. Our first Stuart under Illegal username, 4 enemy casualties. Stuart under Kingara, 1 enemy casualty. And finally our AT guns under Noman, 3 enemy casualties and 1 Hetzer late tank destroyer. Thank you guys again for playing. Some final thoughts here at the end. I'm trying to avoid anything that sounds like a criticism. I might not be able to do it, so I apologize. It's not a criticism, just, bear with me. One thing that surprised me was just how you guys seem to avoid any of the negative elevations in terms of cover. Like this spot right here in the middle of the map on the Axis side, you see how it slopes down here and then pops right back up right on the middle objective. I thought I'd see a lot more of these Axis submachine gun squads, getting right in close really quickly and using their superior short-range firepower to decide this middle objective, but instead everybody kind of gravitated towards the upper elevations, even in situations where perhaps their weapons didn't really do well at the ranges they were being asked to perform. I think part of the reason for that is I probably didn't do a very good job of basically explaining what each weapon does in-game. I kind of just know it by second nature now. And secondly, I think it's hard to portray just what ranges you're actually firing at and what ranges you're effective at. For example, this machine gun here is anything up to 300 meters, which is farther than this map goes. But, you see something like just a submachine gun, that's 100 meters, so you're talking right here basically. I mean, it's nothing. The second thing that kind of surprised me was I kind of wanted to make this game a little bit more intimate, a little bit smaller, in that I gave every person a squad, as opposed to giving every person, a platoon. And I wanted to do that so that we would maybe see a little bit more independence of thought in terms of the command structure, but we didn't. For example, we had 3rd Platoon here basically stand and die. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I had imagined that at some point someone would have been like, screw you, I'm retreating, whatever the hell you say. But none of that happened. Everyone basically just followed orders no matter where you ended up. And I just found that kind of surprising. That was not the intention when I made the game. And the final thought about just the way I went about designing this scenario. In terms of the way I designed the two forces, the AT gun, or the AT situation was straight down the line. I, 2 Panthers versus 2 Easy 8s, a Hetzer versus 2 AT guns, 2 Stuarts versus 2 Lynxes, 2 assault guns on the Allied side versus 2 self-propelled guns on the German side. But in terms of infantry, the Germans were actually a conscript force, and you can set in the scenario designer the level of motivation and the level of experience. Experience translates basically to performance, so they shoot better, things like that. Motivation is morale-wise, so they're basically fanatical conscripts on the German side, so they're not quite as good as shooting, but they're much better in terms of taking casualties, rallying once they've broken, things of that nature. And it's the exact opposite on the Allied side. They're a veteran force of low motivation troops, so they break easier, but they're better at their jobs. I think in the end, things were basically even. We didn't really see that many infantry fights based entirely on infantry firepower. Usually the tanks decided the fight, which is normal for a combat mission. So all in all, I think it worked out well. Both sides were equal in points, infantry-wise. No side had an advantage based on how the game calculates things. And I think in the end it turned out there was really no advantage on either side based on the actual troops on the ground. So again, thank you all for playing. Glad you bore with me in these terrible videos, and see you next time.